What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Mitch TV. Thank y'all for tuning in once again. And today we're going to be reviewing Cobra Kai Season 5. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, talking about the streams, I got 100,000. Yeah. If you don't believe me, you can go and count it. Yeah. But I never cared about what the amount is. Honestly, I think that's low.
Okay, so Cobra Kai Season 5. I got my notes pulled up right here. We're going to be reviewing this. I don't know if you guys knew that I actually watched Cobra Kai. I'm an avid viewer of Cobra Kai. Love it to death. I don't think there's a single bad season in this series. I do think there are some lackluster seasons compared to the rest, but they're all either good or great. So let's get right into reviewing Season 5, and we're going to start off with the good. So first off, a great thing about this season are the acting performances by pretty much everyone in the cast. I can't think of really too many people, maybe 2 or 3 that really fell kind of short with their acting performances, but across the board, they were all great. And I'll just get this out of the way. I think Sam is one of the most annoying characters I've ever seen in television, but she does act very well. And even though it annoyed me, even she did a great performance. Specifically, I'm thinking of Johnny, Daniel LaRusso, even though he does get cheesy at times, Miguel, and as we'll talk about later, Terry Silver. So acting performances were great, really sold some of these emotional moments as well. Another great thing I love about this season in particular was the addition of Chosen. We saw him in previous episodes, in previous seasons, but in this season he was just integrated into the whole thing. And I really, really loved Chosen. He was definitely a highlight in this season. He was kind of like Daniel's muscle. He was his co-cop, co-buddy type relationship going on. And he was really just taking out everyone. Like, no one was stopping this guy. It was actually pretty funny to see at times. And I'm not going to spoil anything, although I want to. But there's some just different scenes throughout the series that just really, really make Chosen a likable character. And he's very funny at times also, but very serious. I loved it. I think his acting was amazing, and he was definitely a highlight of the season. Next, I want to go to the emotional moments of this season. Cobra Kai has a unique ability to just drop emotional moments on you out of nowhere. Like they are building up if you really pay attention, but like you'll just be watching a scene that it's like, oh yeah, this is pretty sad, but then it'll just take it to a whole nother level out of nowhere, and like I'll start crying. I'm like, what is happening right now? You're acting. Like I said, the acting performances really sold the emotional moments, and there's a few times in particular, not as much as previous seasons, but I think there were just a couple times in this season where maybe 3 where I was just like, wow. These performances are really, really great, and the emotion is there. It's really paying off for these characters and just how they're developing and how their stories are coming together. It's amazing, and Cobra Kai is brilliant at taking character development and just making it all work with among all these different, side things and characterizations going on at the time. It's kind of like a beautiful mess. Most of the time, but it works. It really does work, and it's beautiful when it comes to the finale. So another great thing I like is seeing former enemies of Daniel LaRusso come together to fight Terry. Like, we got Barnes, we have Chosen, Johnny, and they're all fighting Terry Silver alongside of Daniel. Like, when did we ever think this was gonna happen? No one ever expected this to happen, and it's really, really cool. Even just seeing Johnny and Chosen interact was really cool. Like, whoa, like these guys used to hate Johnny. They all almost killed him. Like, they're just talking like they're friends now, and they're like at the bar together. They're having fun together, and just with the addition of Barnes, it was nice. What I wish he was incorporated more. He kind of was at the beginning and then showed up at the end. So that was something I didn't like as much, actually, but when he was there, it was cool, and it was awesome to see them interact and actually fight the big bad Terry. And it's not even Kreese; it ends up being Terry, and just the dichotomy of this, who they were and who they are now, is so beautiful to see. Next, and lastly, for the good and the best thing I could say about this season, Terry Silver. Whoa, he is honestly, guys, this season is Terry's season. It's not even really about Johnny or Daniel or Miyagi-Do versus Cobra Kai. In a sense, it is, but at the heart of it, I honestly think it's just Terry Silver's season, and Thomas Ian Griffith plays this character so well. It's absolutely amazing. Like that, if any of the stuff in the season was cheesy and a little over the top, like it just Terry Silver just grounded it, and even if it was over the top, Terry made it seem more realistic just with his performance. Thomas Ian Griffith just knows how to play this character, and every time he was on screen, it was the best scene. There's a lot that I could go into it, but this guy can just act, and this character I love. And like I was saying, in previous seasons, it's always really been hyper-focused on Johnny's relationship with Daniel and Cobra Kai versus Miyagi-Do, and it's always centered around, Johnny's relationship with Miguel and how that's, contrasting against Daniel LaRusso's relationship with Robbie, and how those conflict and how the kids, switch sides. And it's always focused around that. But this time, I didn't really get the sense that this was even focused on Johnny or Daniel or even the kids, really. It was really about Terry and his opposition to just karate in general. And so that was really cool to see. This was his season, and he definitely gave his all in this performance, and I loved it. Okay, coming in for the bad or the not so good, first off is going to be Miguel's side quest with his dad. If it was his dad, we never even actually confirmed it. There were strong hints that alluded towards it, but what was the point of it? Just to see that Johnny was his real true dad, not biologically, but that's who his dad should be, and that's how he comes to that realization. I don't think it was necessary at all. I don't think he had to go to Mexico to find himself at all and realize that. Unless it's going to play into season 6, I don't understand that, and I think it was a waste of time. Next, I want to talk about the fighting in this season. I think especially in episode 2 and 3 of this season, and throughout, but specifically those episodes as well, the fighting was just not good. It was clearly fake, and it was not as clean and on point as we've seen in previous seasons. And it kind of pulled me out of it. I was like, okay, what are you guys doing? You're not even really fighting. Oh, you threw him a pepper and you're going to squeeze it in his eyes. That's how you're fighting him? It was just so unrealistic. And I know Cobra Kai can do that from time to time, but it was just way, way too much. And it was very sloppy fighting. And I know this season wasn't really focused around a tournament, so the fighting wasn't the main focus, but in a sense it kind of was as well, because they were fighting to get Cobra Kai out of there. So I don't know. The fighting just took me out of the emotional moments and the action sequences at times. Also, this kind of connects with it, but there were a lot of times in this season where things were just too cheesy and too over the top. Cobra Kai is obviously on this new level where it feels like corporate Cobra Kai with a new extravagant facility and these new senseis coming in, and there's 8 of them. And they have a smoothie bar and everything like that. And it's just okay, it's kind of over the top at this point. I don't think they would actually be doing this, but maybe with Terry Silver's money. But I think also some of the moments in this season were just too cheesy. Some of the acting, especially from Daniel and Sam and maybe a couple other characters, just was really cheesy in how they handled some of it. And like I said, the fighting was kind of over the top. And again, Cobra Kai, that's expected. But this was just way too much, and it pulled me out of it. And lastly, I want to say the focus on Kenny in Cobra Kai, Terry Silver's mentorship of Kenny. Kenny doesn't feel like the head guy of Cobra Kai, the face of Cobra Kai, like Johnny was or something like that. He's too young. It just doesn't feel like he's any sort of a threat at all. There's no reason whatsoever that he should have beat Hawk. That might be a spoiler, but I'm going to say it anyways. Hawk is my man. He's my favorite character throughout all of this. And he just gets 2-0'd, maybe 3-0'd by Kenny. I know he had that special move, but how did he let him get those points? I guess he was going easy on him because Miguel told him to. I don't know. But Kenny doesn't feel like a threat at all. And just kind of the focus of this character is maybe he would have been good, as a side character in Cobra Kai who just was really manipulated through emotions of the sensei and manipulated into hating Miyagi-Do. But if you take away Tori from Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai doesn't have any good characters, and they have no strong like actual threats because all the good characters are on Miyagi-Do's side. So it kind of made Cobra Kai feel empty. Like there was no one I was like actually wanting to see from Cobra Kai, like in previous seasons when Hawk was on Cobra Kai or Robbie. Like it just, the focus of Kenny was, I think, misplaced, and it didn't make Cobra Kai seem like an actual threat. It was all Terry. Like I said, it's all Terry. It's not Cobra Kai. So also another thing I just want to mention is Kreese, how they handled that. When he got shanked in prison, I guess this is a spoiler review, but when he got shanked in prison, I was like, is this it? Is this really how they're handling this character? My mouth was open. I was like, no way that's how they're handling Kreese. But as we see at the end, he faked his death. He has some melted jello probably in a pouch guarding his stomach. He got that guy in prison to, go along with it and fake his death. And now he's out. And so season 6 is coming. And I don't know what Kreese is planning on, because if he's spotted by anyone, and he's out in the public, he's going to get taken back. So he has to keep it pretty low key. I don't know. But guys, I really enjoyed this season. I wouldn't say it's my favorite season. I think season 3 and 4 and 1 are the strongest seasons. And in particular season 3, and that's my favorite, and this would probably be on the lower end, but again, good season. Let me know what you guys think. I love Cobra Kai. I know you guys do too. Comment down below what you think about this season. What are you expecting in season 6? Because honestly, I have no idea where this is going to go. So guys, I post videos every week. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one.